So I'm just going to kick things off by introducing myself. I'm Brad Ricker from WiSys. I'm here in the role of a moderator. I've been helping to organize this event, so I've met some people like Kris McDonald before, well, not met, but talked with. And thank you, students and industry and campus representatives for joining us. So let's take a short while. We've got at least 30 minutes. And if we are having good conversations, I've been told that we'll be allowed to go over. But take 15 to 30 seconds to introduce yourself to everybody else. I'm Regional Associate here at WiSys. I work specifically in Northeast Wisconsin with UW-Oshkosh, UW-Green Bay, and UW-Stevens Point. So next, so one of the Arinnes, why don't you go? Maybe the Arinne that's not muted.
Sure, I'll start. My name's Arinne Lyman. I'm a Research and Development Director for Georgia Pacific, specifically at our Neenah Technical Center in Neenah, Wisconsin. I've been at GP for 8 years and managed the retail towel, napkin, and professional wiper product development teams.
I'll go next so we can get both the Arinnes on.
We can't hear you, Arinne Westman. Or at least I can't. But let me take this time to encourage people, don't hold back, just jump in if there's a quiet spot.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's great, Arinne.
Perfect. So Arinne Westman, I am a quality manager at Phillips-Medisize. We're a medical device contract manufacturing company. I've been with Phillips for just over 7 years.
I can go next. I'm Sam Dieckman. I am with Georgia Pacific. I am a quality manager on their dispenser and devices team. So the different dispensers you might see, holding paper towel or soap in the different restrooms. I've been with GP for just over 6 years.
I am Bradley. Also work at the Neenah Technical Institute with Arinne and Sam. I work previously in the wiper product development team, and now I'm up on our technical papermaking platform. So really work with our existing papermaking assets, trying to help them run efficiently. I've been with GP for just over 5 years, and just over 3 years here at the research and development facility. Prior to that, I worked in one of our production mills as a co-op student out of college for about 9 months.
I'll go next. Kris McDonald. I'm with Phillips-Medisize, and I work with Arinne Westman. I am the rotational program manager at Phillips-Medisize, and I've been with the company for 3 years.
Don't be shy, everyone, including students. Jump in and just quick introduce yourself.
It's like wait time in a classroom. But my name is Eric Hendrickson. I'm the chair of the Physics and Astronomy Department at the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire. We have a pre-engineering program and also a dual degree engineering program with Madison, Minnesota, Milwaukee, and we're trying to expand to others as well. But I'm here just to listen in on the, like you said, the tips for students, because that's hopefully what I can pass along to the students who aren't here today from my school as I try to get them, going in the right direction.
Hi, my name is Cole Gregorich. I'm going to be a freshman attending UW-EC, and I'm in the dual degree program for physics and an engineering degree. And I'm excited to learn about some of these opportunities I'm able to have with you guys.
Hi, I'm Hannah Cedarholm. I am going to be a sophomore at UW Oshkosh. Haven't decided on a major yet, but something in the STEM field. So yeah, thanks for having me.
I'll go next. Rich Marshall here with UW Oshkosh. I'm in the Career Professional Development Office, and I work closely with the STEM fields, including our engineering and engineering technology areas. So Hannah, we should talk at some point. Happy to do so.
Sounds good.
Hi, my name is George Delgadillo, student at University of Wisconsin Green Bay. I'm going into my 4th semester of school studying mechanical engineering and computer science.
Great. Last call for introductions, everybody. This is your chance. Okay, well, we've got some great industry and campus representatives here, and I'm going to focus on the 2 companies that are represented and ask one of the people from each company to just tell us a little bit more about your company, because as was earlier discussed, not everybody is familiar with every company, or they think they're familiar and they don't. So anyway, someone from Georgia Pacific and someone from Phillips-Medisize, tell us a little more about your company, including, you know, mission, goals, history, locations, number of employees, whatever you think is relevant for our students.
I think maybe Kris, you and I can tag team Koch Industries as a whole first, potentially. So I don't know if you all know, but Georgia Pacific and Phillips-Medisize are both owned by a parent company called Koch Industries. And Koch Industries as a whole has over 120,000 employees in 60 different countries worldwide. And we've won a variety of different awards in excellence since 2009. And what's nice about Koch Industries is that it's a privately held company. So we're not publicly traded on the stock market. We're not beholden to the swings of the market and stuff like that. So we invest historically about 90% of our earnings back into research and development into the company. It's a nice broad parent umbrella. They're very well diversified. Georgia Pacific's mostly paper and cellulose products. Phillips-Medisize, as Arinne mentioned, is medical devices. They also are in ranching, a couple other industries, oil and gas. Molex is an example of a company that's into electronics and connectors. Guardian is into glass. So we have lots of different sister companies under that Koch umbrella that is part of this broader parent network. And one of the great things about that is in terms of career development, if you are looking for different stepping stones in your career or being a well-rounded individual, we trade employees between our companies all the time. So we have a couple people who joined us at GP from Invista. We've lost a couple people from GP to go to Guardian Glass, to Molex in Chicago. So I don't know, Kris, if you want to add anything more to that, but I think that's a really great start to an introduction, is to introduce you to our parent company.
Sure. Sure. And Arinne, you can pop in here too and help me out as well. What I can tell you a little bit more about Phillips-Medisize is that we are a division of Molex. Molex is one of the big 7 under the Koch umbrella enterprise. And there's 4 divisions within Molex, and we are one of them. We're called the MPS, or Medical Pharma Solutions. Right, Arinne? Did I get that right?
Medical and Pharmaceutical Solutions Group.
There we go. Okay. Sometimes I mess that one up, but or it comes out a different way. But we are the MPS division of that. There's 3 other separate divisions, and we have about 6,000 employees alone at Phillips-Medisize, Arinne?
Yeah, approximately 6,000. And then we have several locations around the globe. I'd say in the United States, we have a heavy presence in the Wisconsin area. Like I'm currently sitting in Hudson, Wisconsin, but we have facilities in Menominee, Medford up in Phillips, And then we have a couple other sites in the US. So yeah, all over the world.
And Georgia Pacific, which is, the sister company, obviously, of Molex and Phillips-Medisize, we focus on paper and cellulose. Some of the products that you might be familiar with that you might see if you go into your local Walmart or Target would be Brawny paper towels, Angel Soft bath tissue, Vanity Fair napkins. So all the different consumer products in paper towel, bath tissue, napkins, paper plates under Dixie. Those are some of the products that we make internally. We have mills all over the country, including Wisconsin, but our R&D facility, research and development, is all in Neenah, Wisconsin, for all of Georgia Pacific. Bradley, if there's anything that you want to add there, but lots of travel opportunities out west, down south, southeast, where all of our manufacturing plants are for each of our paper products.
Yeah, the only thing I'd add is we're all from the consumer products division, as Arinne talked about, but we also have a packaging group and a cellulose group. So the cellulose group is really doing the process of taking the trees and getting them into the form that we can use them to make paper. And then the packaging group is doing all the cardboard boxes. And a lot of that, as we continue to order more and more products shipped to us online, they are growing in that division. And just as the global need for cardboard and packaging equipment increases, we also play in that space.
So you can imagine 2020 was a very great, fantastic year for Georgia Pacific.
Right. Arinne, do you want to tell them a little bit more about what we do as a contract manufacturer?
Yeah, yep. So Phillips-Medisize, I believe we were founded in 1964. We'll go all the way back. So we were founded in Phillips, Wisconsin. That's where the name originally came from. The name Medisize came when we acquired a business in Europe that was called Medisize. They just took the easy path and stuck them together, and Phillips-Medisize was born. So we are a contract manufacturer. What that means is we manufacture products for other customers. Some big names that we work with that I can say would be Medtronic, 3M, Eli Lilly, Exact Sciences. So there's a lot of the tools that doctors use in hospitals or in an examination room. All of the plastic components, all the medical devices that they could be using. Someone's making them. In Phillips-Medisize, we have a large part in that. We specialize in everything from design and development, so taking a napkin drawing that a customer may have and working with them all the way through to commercial manufacturing. And we handle everything in between in terms of procuring equipment, working through establishing robust processes for what we do, working through process validation, working through submission and regulatory events with the Food and Drug Administration. So we do everything from upfront all the way to the end for both components and finished medical devices. So there are some products that we manufacture where the next place that that product is used could be in a surgical room or in the operation room. So we do take a lot of pride in what we do, in that the device we could be making, we could be the recipient of that device at some point. So there's a lot of care taken into the engineering and the development work that we do, because we know the devices we make could impact lives at any point.
And I should mention too that we do have a commercial division too. About 20% of our business is in commercial and about 80% in the medical industry.
Thank you all. I think that's a great overview, and I'm excited, as I know others are, that we have you here representing your companies. I'm going to try to move us a little bit more, because our time is not unlimited, to the students. And I don't know if any of the students who are logged in, if you've got questions in your mind from those introductions, but I encourage you to jump in at any point and ask a question. You can raise your hand if you want, physically or electronically. or you can just, turn on your camera and microphone and jump in. Someone will respond to that. And if you want to direct your question, please do that. But, I've got some questions in front of me to prime the pump, so to speak. And I'm really taken with some of the categories that are here. It would take us hours to go through all this, but there's details about your internship programs at the two companies. There's for students, how's the best way to find opportunities, with your company. But more specifically about internships, there's questions about application timeline and process. There's also internship logistics. I think that's a big one that's got to be in your mind if you're a undergraduate at one of our university campuses. There's, the specifics of what the internship responsibilities might be when you're there. And then there's the big and important question about what comes after an internship. So I have specific questions I can ask, but I guess I want to encourage students to jump in, right now with any questions that they have for our panelists, because you've got a great opportunity right here to get some information.
Yeah, please chime in. I'll just add, I hire interns on college campuses every year. Bradley was a former intern and former co-op for GP and got a full-time offer from us. So please chime in with any questions that you might have that we can help answer for you.
But I'm not going to wait too long before I break the silence. So you're going to have to be a little aggressive here, students, to pop in with a question. So I'm going to ask a question of our panelists. What is the best way for students to find open opportunities at your company?
CoachCareers.com would be the easiest. We post every single position there. So that's number one place we will direct you to. Even if you come to a career fair on campus, we will give you a card that says you have to go to CoachCareers.com to apply. We need you in our system. So fill out a profile, get your resume in, and apply.
And I gather that works for both companies here?
Absolutely, we use the same website, but I do want to point out there are two career sites there. There's for experienced and then there's one for early careers. So be sure that you check out both, because some internships, most might be under the early careers website, but they will also be posted under the what I call the regular or standard website as well.
Kris, can you put the early career link in the chat? I just put the regular one in the chat. So
yep, you bet.
Well, that's wonderful, and that I think the simplicity of that is a beautiful thing, and when dealing with an organization as big as yours, it's a good thing too. So I'm going to throw out another question, and that is internship responsibilities. Who does an intern typically engage with at the company? And Bradley, you might be able to speak to your specific experience.
Yeah, so I'll take this one first, but really as an intern at our research and development facility, and as a co-op at our production facility, you really interact with pretty much everyone in the organization. So of course you've got your manager who you're reporting to, but you're surrounded, at least in both of the facilities I've been in, with a network of mentors. So mentors that will help you in different aspects of your project or professional development things. So focusing on both the hard engineering skills and the soft skills that I think really round out a professional, from the presentation style to how to communicate with people and how to lead and organize meetings. But really interacting with people who are very advanced in their career, 35 plus years. So leaders in the field, experts in my case for paper making, all the way down to the other interns, and networking with people that are coming from all different universities across the upper Midwest and across the United States. So really a wide net of people who can help make you successful and help enrich your time as an intern at Georgia Pacific or Koch.
Great, thanks, Bradley. Again, students pop in with questions here. You've got a limited opportunity and you got to compete with me if you're not going to jump in there. So
I actually would have a question. It would be kind of for everyone if they'd like to take turns. So with each of your internships, what would the main type of engineering it would be like geared towards be?
I would say for Georgia Pacific, the main types of engineers we hire are chemical engineers, mechanical engineers, and electrical engineers. They seem to do the best with the technologies that we have at Georgia Pacific. However, I'm a biomedical engineer, so I fit in pretty well too, but those are the three big ones. And I don't know, Kris or Arinne, if you recruit any different at Molex.
We recruit very different, right, Arinne? So we hire biomeds, manufacturing engineers, plastic engineers, mechanical. I'm looking at my list here. Industrial, some material science as well. What did I miss? Computer engineering, electrical engineering a little bit.
Yeah, I think that covers it. And a lot of our focus in our core competencies for engineering, it's focused on manufacturing. So the utilization of your skills in a lot of our manufacturing sites is going to be focused on manufacturing improvements and launching new manufacturing processes. But then we have the design team. So we might have mechanical design engineering that we look at for some of our global innovation design centers. So that, Kris, I think you went through the gamut of all
for the
of them.
rotational program, we hire just about any kinds of engineering backgrounds, although not chemies or what was the other one? I can't remember what you had said.
Electrical was my other one.
Yeah, because we feel like those skills are really interchangeable and can be used in a lot of different roles for our part of the business.
But I will say, Cole, like it's not limiting. So I know you're doing the dual degree in physics and engineering. I have someone on my team who is astronomy and physics major out of UW-Madison. So really what we're looking for is, can you apply all the different things that you're learning in school to practical examples? Can you lead projects? So really having examples within your school curriculum or in your extracurricular activities where you can show those leadership skills and how you apply those theories, that's going to be what's going to get you an internship versus just the degree.
And if I can add on to one thing that Arinne was saying, the biggest thing that we look for when we go to recruit is the ability to take ownership of a project. So Arinne, she'll be able to nod and remember this, but when I was an intern, I was part of the team that was working on the biggest project that we had going at our R&D facility. And it was probably a couple weeks into that, the person who was really my mentor, she had to step away for a period of time. So kind of thrust into a leadership role and just being able to take your hands and wrap them around a project and understand the drivers, where the problem is and what you need to go solve for. That's more important than any technical class, I think, that we can look for on a resume. And just as an example to bring it home, we work on paper making. And if you're not at UW Stevens Point, I don't know that there's another university in the Wisconsin system that talks about paper making.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a lot of successful individuals who work with us that are not from UW Stevens Point,
Right.
From the paper making program. So we will teach you all of the technical tools that you need to be successful, as long as you can bring the right attitude and the right thought process to the problems that we're asking you to solve.
Well, sweet. Thank you guys so much for answering my question.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
excellent. So you all may have noticed that Mike Sensi, our coordinator, said we have a limited amount of time before we'll be thrust back into the main room. So I want to just, you've mentioned co-op, and so I just want to throw that out in the last minute or two. Is there a significant difference that you want to emphasize about co-op versus internship opportunities?
At least from the Georgia Pacific side, traditionally we've done more co-ops in our production facilities, so our mills, more internships at our research and development facility. But I think it's really about the depth of experience that you want. So as you go for a co-op and you think about the 9-month term versus a 3-month term, you can get a little bit deeper into the projects. The projects that we choose for you would probably be a little bit more long-term if you have 9 months with us as opposed to 3. But I think even though historically we've done more internships at our research and development facility and co-ops at the mills, we really try to tailor our programs for all employees, whether it's young professionals, advanced professionals, or our interns or co-ops, try to tailor it around the individual. So I think that there's always some amount of flexibility depending on what fits the needs of the person who we're looking at and what fits the needs of the organization. But by and large, more internships with research and development, co-ops with our mills.
And do you try to focus those for the summers, like the 3 months of summer, or are there also opportunities to do, okay, it's the fall semester, but we will take a semester off to do an internship and come back, or are they just kind of flexible, I guess?
Yeah, generally it's over the summer. I think exclusively for us for the internship, if you were planning to take a semester off, I think we'd ask that we would get the summer either on the front side or the back side to turn that into a co-op. And that's just simply for the longer time we have, 6 months versus 9 months, helps us, I think, get a much broader depth of experience for both us as a company and you as a candidate. And I think the longer we get to know you, Arin kind of hinted at it that I was an intern. The longer we get to know you and see you, the better chance we have to evaluate that for a potential full-time opportunity. So I think it's to the benefit of both us and the students to tack on those extra 3 months.
That's an interesting question, Eric. And if there's anything that we can do with Eau Claire to maybe think about it a little bit differently, we're open to having that dialogue.
Well,
And
students
Philip,
are,
go
sorry,
ahead,
I mean,
Eric.
students are just really concerned about, the financial part of it where, okay, I want to be done in 4 years or as close to that as I can. So those summer months are great for an internship opportunity, but sometimes companies, they're more on a year-round basis. It's not just a summer. So maybe there's an internship that's open in January through, whatever, May or something. And if the student knows those are available, they might work their schedule around to try to apply for one of those, because it's not every semester that you have to take a class, for the entire time. But they also need to realize, oh, well, that's probably one more semester before I can graduate. And that's okay because the experience is so important. But I just want to know what's available, as I'm talking to my students. And some people are like, well, I can't do it this summer, but does that mean I'll never get one? Well, maybe not.
And that leads right into what I was going to say, Eric. So at Phillips-Medisize, internship can be offered at any point during the year. It can be a summer only, or it can extend throughout the year so that they can work 40 hours during the summer. And then if they want to continue on, they can at a part-time basis when school starts. And I know, Arin, you do some of that as well with your interns. But we have both all year round.
And just tell our students that it's clear to me that the first step, if I were a student, that I need to take is getting onto your website and submitting my particulars or contacting you through LinkedIn or however, because until you know of somebody, Eric just asked about whether an internship was available. And I think with large organizations like yours, there's so many opportunities that are up there that you just need to know who's in the mix, and then you'll work with them to figure it out.